Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to start press conference by Prime Minister Kishida. First of all, Mr. Kishida will say statement at the outset. Yes, yesterday in Mongolia, Oyon Eldorene Prime Minister and we talked over the telephone. With that as the time, we were able to end the program of the diplomacy for this summer. So after the summer vacation will be over, there will be full-fledged activities for Prime Minister election, the LDP leader election. Now, LDP will change, or newborn LDP. That will be shown very clearly to the Japanese people, and that is quite important for our party. For that, transparent and open election for the leaders, and also free and active discussion would be a prerequisite. When we do that, we need to show LDP will change, and the very easy to understand first step for us is that I step down as the leader of LDP. I am not going to run for the forthcoming leader election for LDP. Through the election, I would like to support the newborn leader as one of the members of the LDP. Leader of LDP, I was serving as a leader for the past 3 years. 30-year deflationary economy, putting an end to that period, and to increase a new form of capitalism idea. Under those the idea, we wanted to revitalize animal spirit, so to speak, among public and the private sector, and the power demand is going to increase, and to respond to GX carbon pricing or GX bond issuance, as well as reopening of the nuclear power plant, and also new innovative nuclear reactor. And those are the programs we want to put into effective. And 3.6 trillion yen, the children support program implementation. And in the international society is becoming complicated and difficult in order to respond to that. 43 trillion yen increase in defense spending for the next 5 years is also another project. And based upon the U.S.-Japan solid relationship, G7 Hiroshima Summit was held, and NATO summit meeting, and Camp David summit conversation. I was able to participate in all of that, so that against the backdrops of dividing international society, I wanted to lead the discussion for the international society and the increase in the relationship with the global south. Multifaceted diplomacy was engaged by my leader time, with many of the people supporting my prime ministership, and I'm proud that I was able to deliver such a big results. However, on the other hand, during this period, the former Unification Church, and also party, the incomes and politics and money distrust by the Japanese people increased as a result of a series of events occurred during this time. So the law to rescue victims, and also the law to the political funding, those implementation of the countermeasures was, I thought, responsibility as Prime Minister. So under that leadership, I make sure that I do not betray Japanese people, and that was my attitude towards those events, especially relating to the problem of politics and money. Faction was dissolved, and I attended the committee for political ethics, and also I reduced the threshold of the money that is not immune for reporting, although there were criticism, but I pushed that through of the political reform in order to regain trust by Japanese people. So I looked at the Japanese people in order to make very important decisions so far. I had a responsibility still remaining as a top of the LDP, and many of the serious situation occurred and caused by my members. I have no hesitance to take responsibility on behalf of them as a leader of the LDP. So ever since the event occurred and accident occurred, I determined by myself and waited for the diplomatic programs to end so that I can declare that I would like to take responsibility so that the LDP party election can start. Japan is faced with difficult situations within and outside of Japan, and we are faced with a very difficult situation. So for the LDP presidency election, I would like people to raise their hand if they are really willing to take the leadership so that the full-fledged serious discussion will happen. And new leader, if that he or she will be born, there will be no side. In other words, major party factions and non-major party factions. That delineation will be eliminated so that the LDP will become a true sense of dream team in order to deliver results, so that we can win empathy and support by Japanese people. And that will be very important and ultimate goal that I would like to set. So if a candidate will be able to do that or not, I would like to cast my own one vote looking at the caliber of the candidate in that respect. And I am a politician as Fumio Kishida. I have a challenge that I need to continue tackling. 30 years of cost cut, reduced, diminishing equilibrium, deflationary economy has to put, we have to put an end to such economy and a new form of capitalism. We need to implement various measures and increase wage and increase investment so that GDP 600 trillion yen will be achieved for sure. Nuclear power plant reopening and a new innovative reactor, inclusive energy policies under the backdrop of electricity liberalization, how investment money can be put aside. Electricity, decarbonization, and security, how can we put a balance between these things? The 7th Energy Basic Plan should make very clear the direction that Japan will be going forward. In the diplomacy, 3 years into the Ukraine invasion and the threat by the nuclear weapon, and, as well as the use of nuclear power. So as only A-bombed country, we need to exercise our leadership. And next year, Japan-Korea normalization, 60 years of anniversary. So Japan-Korea diplomatic normalization has to be really established very firmly, so that the strategic mutual respect relationship for China, as well as abduction issues, or in other words, Japan and North Korea issues, rather than trying to trust relatives far away, but we need to be close friend with non-relatives in the vicinity or in the neighborhood. So that's something we need to work for the constitutional reform, we need to have a provision for self-defense force as well as the urgent emergency matters. We need to lead to a discussion to do that. For emergency provisions, we are already working on making provisions, and for clearly mentioning as the self-defense force by the end of this month, we are trying to pick up issues. And that will be compiled among lower and upper house. I have given instruction already, so we want to make sure the good work will continue, and also political reform as well as the other matters after the political funding law amendment. We need to deliver results and a conclusion. In the head office for refreshing the political situation, I have already issued instruction for that. My political life, as well as my life as a politician, as one of many politicians, I would like to continue working on those issues going forward as well. So, first of all, until the September during my term, and also as a responsibility as Prime Minister, I would like to put the things move forward to the extent possible. And also, as a Prime Minister and leader of LDP, Noto earthquake recovery, and the South Sea trough issues. On these important issues, I would like to dedicate myself towards these issues to the end of my tenure. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Now, we would like to let Nikkei newspaper to ask a question first. Akiyama from Nikkei. Prime Minister, you have expressed your intention to not to run for the presidential election. Economy is now trying to shift into the growth-oriented economy, and diplomatically, for the strengthening and the maintenance of international peace, you are taking leadership, and you have stabilized Japanese profile in the diplomatic area. At this point in time, change in the Prime Minister may change the trend. So, 3 years. You could have run for the election so that you could stay in the office for another 3 years to pursue this responsibility. And who are you going to support as the new Prime Minister? And what are you expecting from this new Prime Minister? As I said, in terms of economy and economic policy, children's policy, securities and diplomatic policies, for many people who supported me, I owe them because now we are seeing tangible effects from these policies. This is a fact. And Japan, inside and outside of the country, are faced with difficulties continuously. Given this, for internal and external challenges, for us to take on these challenges is a quite important task. That is all the more why I thought that trust from the public is of prime importance at this point in time. With the support and the trust from the public, we can proceed with these policies by recovering trust and support from the public. That's why I believe that the LDP must change. And we have to show that the LDP has changed. And my decision not to run for the presidential election is the first sign that we can show to the public that the LDP is changing. That's how I have come to my conclusion this time. So please, by all means, because LDP or leading ruling party, we will regain the trust and support of the public, and we will proceed with the policies with their support. So this is the right way to go, and I hope that my decision will lead to this result. That's why I made this decision. For my successor, you have asked a question. Needless to say, as a person who expressed the intention not to run for the presidential election, I'm not in a position to say anything about the successor. That's what I believe. But the one thing I can tell you is that the political funding issue and political trust and the recovery of the trust issue, a series of reforms have been implemented, and these have to be continued from now. So the mindset for this series of reform should not go backwards, should continue to go forward. And this is what I believe. Thank you. Please raise your hand if you have any questions.
じゃあその前から前の左から2番目の方です。
The person on the front line, please. Eguchi from Nihon TV. You decided not to run for the election. When is the timing? And also who you talk to when you make decision? Are there anyone who you talk to? So as I said, politics and money, and ever since such a problem occurred, I was thinking of how I can take responsibility as a top leader of the party. And towards the end of the Diet session, there was a amendment of a Political Fund Control Act. We were able to achieve that. So money and politics, this is a very important issue. And I think I dedicated myself to that from the very bottom of my heart. But as a politician, I wanted to do certain things, and I needed to do certain things. And I thought those thinking out and to show direction to the people. And that is when this making decision about not running for the leadership, I thought I have to make that very clear. And that was my pride as a prime minister or a politician, that I need to show that very clearly. So at the end of the Diet session was over, there were many issues that we cannot put forward by someone who will take care. So I thought that I was going to make my effort over to the issues that we cannot wait until someone will take over. So now we see better situations in economy, as well as a minimum wage was increased by a large proportion that haven't occurred in the past. And also we introduced various measures to weather the very hot weather, as well as the economic situation, and also former the law regarding the people who suffered from the former law of the situation was already set, and also Sado gold mining, encryption of the World Health and Palm 10, and also a summit, and also constitutional reform. There was a discussion within the party and sorting out the discussion so that the discussion will move forward. And those are the things I have taken on my responsibility to do that. So far, I worked on various political issues, and I feel that myself that I was able to achieve a lot. So I wanted to organize my thought in that situation, and also I wanted to show the direction that the party need to go forward, and by clearly declaring that before I say that I'm not going to run for the leadership, and that is something I was thinking of doing. So That's my ego or maybe pride as a politician. In order for LDP to regain trust in people, I need to step down. And that was how I draw my conclusion in that way. So I want to see very solid election for the leaders happen. And also the leaders will be supported by all LDP members so that he or she can form a dream team so that the team can take on those important challenges. I hope my decision should lead to such situation. So about the timing, as you asked, that's something I can answer. That's all. Thank you very much.
はい、それでは他にご質問ありますでしょうか。
Any other questions? Fujimoto from Hokkaido Shimbun. Thank you very much. This may be overlapping with another question. The support for this political regime was a big support of Mr. Aso. When did you communicate your intention to him? And your decision this time, you just explained about it. But on the other hand, the support rating by the public has been keeping declining. I think that is another factor. Despite all the outcome you have generated, why do you think you have not got the high support rating? If you have any ideas, please share that with us. Whether the support rating is high or not, I don't mean to comment on this, but making decisions on various political issues is an important task. On the other hand, regarding the political trust and political funding issue, these are very grave issues, serious issues, I believe. Therefore, in order to proceed with the policies, we have to regain the trust from the public first. And that's what I felt. And as a first step, I have made my decision regarding my own personal position. So the first part of your question was whether I consulted with anybody else. I did ask for the opinions of many people. However, at the end, I have decided my future on my own. So I was the one who made the final decision. Thank you.
この後は
Now, the Prime Minister has a commitment. I'm sorry to say that we need to end the press conference at this juncture. And if you are raising hand, please send your question in writing. Please give the person in charge one question per company within today so that we can respond to you via writing. Thank you very much. And this is the end of the press conference by Prime Minister.